What if Oklahoma is the new SEC team that finishes in the top three of the conference?
Well, if you're in the top three of the conference, you are in the playoff. I think that goes without saying. I think when you look on paper at Oklahoma, the losses and the turnover are concerning. Okay. I hate to lose a guy like Dylan Gabriel, a guy that had a tremendous season last year. And I hate to lose five guys along the offensive line. I hate to lose Drake Stoops. I hate to lose Jeff Levy, the architect of an offense that averaged 42 points a game and 507 yards a game. Basically with top 10 in pretty much every offensive category, except for rushing. The good news is, if Oklahoma finishes in the top three, Jackson Arnold probably played at an All-American level. He probably did. He was the number one rated quarterback in the 2023 signing class, got some live game experience last year, played a little in the regular season, but got a lot of time there in the bowl game, had some really high highs and some low lows. I think Oklahoma's really well stocked at the skill position. I think the wide receiver room has a chance to be outstanding, absolutely outstanding. But the big question is along both lines of scrimmage. If they're in the top three, that means Bill Bedenbaugh, their offensive line coach, should get a gigantic raise. Imagine stepping into a scenario where you're going into the SEC and you don't have anybody back along the offensive line. But hey, if they're in the top three, they were obviously pretty dang good there. So Bill Bedenbaugh did an amazing job at that position. It also means that the defensive line and some of the question marks surrounding the defensive line probably were pretty dang good. Some of the people that they added in the portal, probably pretty dang good. It probably means they stayed healthy too. Probably means Danny Stutzman had 120 tackles and probably bringing home all those postseason awards. Probably means that Billy Bowman in the secondary, which returns entirely intact, were able to lock down some of the receiver cores they saw. And if they finish in the top three in the SEC standings, they'll have a home playoff game. Because if you really think about this schedule, listen to the schedule, it would be insane. So to finish in the top three, I'm assuming you got to be 10-2 or better, more than likely. I think 10-2 probably gets you in the top three in the SEC. Think about the games that they have. All right, 10-2. So you have two losses. Pick whatever two you want to lose here. It doesn't really matter. Tennessee at home, Alabama at home, at Missouri. Three teams ranked in my preseason top 10. At Ole Miss, another top 10 team. Two of the four on the road, brutal. At LSU, a team that I feel really good about, top 12, top 15 team at worst, maybe better, depending on how they do with their defense. And then their annual game against Texas. So you lose two games, all right? Say they lose at Ole Miss and they lose to Texas. That means you still have a win against Tennessee. You still have a win against Bama. You still have a win at Auburn, at Mizzou, at LSU. That's insane. So if they go 10-2 or better and they finish in the top three, Brent Venables will probably be considered coach of the year. I don't know how you couldn't be based on the schedule they have to run and the teams that they have to face.